Look, you aren't far from the truth there, baby. When I took care of that first woman judge in New York, she was the first woman judge in New York, and I took care of her in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband was a professor at TU. She couldn't control her body. She couldn't even eat, but she was one of the most intelligent minds I had ever spoke to.
Sorry.
Like, she couldn't even wipe her own ass anymore. But she still was so there, but she couldn't control anything.
And I just wish that she was of the most sound mind, and at that time,
She was of sound mind, but because she couldn't take care of herself.
Did anybody monopolize on that? Meaning, did anybody catalyze that? Did anybody reach his maximum potential with her, help her, guide her, do all that thing? Basically, like fucking start a fucking book club.
I don't remember the girl's name, but the one that there was 2 women that used to come in for her physical therapy to help move her and try to get that down and everything, and both of them worked with her and were very.
I'm not worried
no,
about that.
I'm not. No. Let me finish what I'm saying. Okay, both of them did it in a way that built her up because they knew her husband was tearing her down, just like I did.
Oh, because he was almost giving into the fact that she was good for nothing. She had no place in society in a way.
He wanted her to just die so he could get her money and be done with it, because he didn't have any fucking money except for a professor at a college's money.
Yeah.
But she came from a silver spoon family from New York with money already, and then became a judge in New York and even had more money. Like for her son's birthday present, I bought him tickets for season pass to the Met for him and his whole family. Do you know how expensive that was in the 90s? Because Jason was little. It was about mid-90s, actually.
There still was a bottleneck issue of, limitations of, but it's just...
Just because she couldn't get the credit card out and do the stuff herself didn't mean that she didn't want it, or I did it. I used to pay the bills with her. I'd put it on speakerphone, but she couldn't even, say the numbers without. So she'd go through that whole stuttery kind of speech and tell them that this is her assistant and she has that I had her permission to pay her bills. And then I would sit there, and it wasn't even like we called the individual companies, honey. No. We called her accountant because her husband couldn't touch her fucking money until she was dead.
Do you think she was one of those judges that actually kind of got a lesson being learned through her? In a way, because
me and her talked about it one night when I gave her an extra drink because I could tell her pain was really, really high, and the girl had called in for the night, so I was doing a double through the graveyard shift too, and her husband didn't sleep in the same room with her, so I'm sitting beside the bed and I gave her nighttime toddy, and I had one too. And she said, none of the other girls have a toddy with me. And I said, well, they're idiots because I need it at this point. She started laughing and shit. And she said, do you want another one? And I was like, I knew she wasn't supposed to have another one. But when I had gotten there, her husband was in the room screaming at her and shit. So I knew she had had a bad day and shit. And he had been there all day. It's his day off. And I got there at 3. And then even after that, it was bad. And this was 1 in the morning. She still wasn't asleep because she was so stressed out and in pain. I was like, yeah, let's do another one. I was going to get her drunk and put her to sleep. What it did was turn her morose. I can't say the right word that I want to.